thank you. That was fun. I said I was groovy this morning before Jackie said, how you feeling? I'm groovy. Yeah, I really am. That was groovy. Thanks. Welcome. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Cultural Coast, where we are live streaming from the Sarasota Garden Club. I'm going to take a poll right here and right now. Do you hate me having the door open? No. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I think we want the air circulating, but it is warm, and I know that it's warm, and so the air conditioning will continue to run. All right. Well, I love July. I have enjoyed this so much, and we still have so today and next week, to continue to flesh out this living everyday wonder through our relationships. And so we started the month looking at our relationship with our country in a meditative way. Today, I think, is going to be a little meditative too. I really want you to sink into these ideas and then allow that truth, your truth, to come up. So that's what we're going to be doing, rather than me telling you what the truth is about everything, right? I want you to feel into it. So we began with the country, and then we talked about our relationship with family and friends and society, because we make up society. That was last week. So today it's with the cosmos. With the cosmos, with it all, right? With nature, with it all. And I want to look at, these ideas of where it came from. Where did it all come from? Where did we come from? Where did it all come from? What does it mean? Those kinds of esoteric questions, but that we can have a practical understanding and application of. And that's the juxtaposition, I think. And this is very science of mind, to look at space and stars and cosmos and us. Because we say there's only one thing ever happening, right? And that one multiplies and diversifies itself. And that means from the star stuff to right here, right now. So it's a cool thing to ponder. I'm excited. So let's just open up with that intention. The intention to be open here this morning. I affirm for myself and for each one of us that we come to this topic with an open heart and an open mind, with a receptivity, with the idea that there is a creativity and an intelligence of which we were ourselves birthed, of which we are immersed in, surrounded by, made of, that which is seeking our attention all the time. And so whether it's through the music, which is going to be awesome this morning, or the message, or the reading. I know there's a shift, there's an opening, there's a deeper understanding, and there's a movement that is transformative for each and every one of us. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to be an active participant in this thing called life. It is good, it is very good, it is loving and supportive here, now, and so it is. Yeah. So, we have Matthew Frost back with us. And I'm just excited as heck. I love when Matt's here. And, he's a multi-instrumentalist. You've seen him with his guitar. It's always delightful no matter what. He's a composer. He's an engineer. And I want you to affirm with me right now that Matthew's music, his heart, his soul, his intention to take his original music throughout New Thought community is met with a big yes, with open arms, and then we get to say it started here with us. Yeah. Have at it, Matthew.
are stars in the skies. Can't you see we are free beams of love? On the sea, the wind calls them to the land. The questions of life, the wind answers every man. Sky, wind calls them to motion. Waves of your mind, one wave in an ocean. Feeling that just everyone may be a family is blowing in shores across this land. It's beating different frequencies of energy. Go to me, things that I understand. Who we are stars in the skies. Can't you see we are free beams of love light? Stars in the skies. Can't you see we are free beings of love? Who we are stars in the skies. Can't you see we are free beams of love?
Wow, that was really fabulous. Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to go from, we're stars, and then think about ourselves as like a speck as well. This is a really awesome time to be thinking about the cosmos. The James Webb Telescope has been sending us back amazing images this week of places in the universe that were there when it all happened, from the Big Bang. It's really amazing to think of. So this quote is from Carl Sagan. The book is Pale Blue Dot, A Vision of the Human Future in Space. I don't have a year, but that's the reference. So imagine, if you would, the Milky Way, our great home, and our little planet off to the left or right, wherever it sits, right? Just imagine that. Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering, thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines, every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. Think of endless cruelties visited by the inhabitants of one corner of this pixel on the scarcely distinguishable inhabitants of some other corner, how frequent their misunderstandings, how eager they are to kill one another, how fervent their hatreds. Think of the rivers of blood spilled by those generals and emperors so that, in glory and triumph, they could become momentary masters of a fraction of a dot. Our posturings, our imagined self-importance, the delusion that we have some privileged position in the universe are challenged by this point of pale light. Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity and all this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from anywhere to save us, but from ourselves. The Earth is the only world known so far to harbor life. There is nowhere else, at least in the near future, to which our species could migrate. Visit, yes. Settle, not yet. Like it or not, for the moment, the Earth is where we make our stand. It has been said that astronomy is a humbling and character-building experience. There is perhaps no better demonstration of the folly of conceits than this distant image of our tiny world. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known.
All right, I'm going to do another, the first one I did was called Stars in the Skies, and I did a lot of writing in the year 2012 until 14 around there. There was a big burst of writing for me, and I called it like my starseed sessions of writing. There was a lot of star songs and things just coming to me all the time. I was in my, I think, early 20s then, like my mid-20s or something. So it's been about 10 years or something now over that. Getting to about 10 years actually. And then this is another one I'm going to do from that time period, around 2012-14, that Theresa really loves. She was mentioning it, and I was like, should I do that one? And she was like, this is my favorite one. I was like, okay, so I'll do it. Yes. I haven't done it in a while, so I hope it goes good. It's called Stardust Lullaby. Check it out.
dreamer. He came into this world holding a secret within him. He lay awake at night talking to spirits and laughter. Was wandering the world searching for a key for truth. Years went by, the child grew up. He knew of a truth, but he never told us so fearful of what they might think. The voices deep within faded, but his spirit, he left him, was flying in the sky, hoping that someday the boy would see. From the dark walls and washed over sand, the children of Stardust are born of this land, teeming with answers and searching for truth. The children can save us if you listen to their words. His house in the world's end, voices that have been forgotten. He heard them once again. The spirit in the words kindled his dream that had left him. He finally found the key and opened with his door to his destiny. Washed over sand, the children of Stardust are born of this land, teeming with answers and searching for truth. The children can save us. Won't you listen to their words? From the dark ones, washed over sand, the children of Stardust are born of this land, teeming with answers, searching for truth. The children can save us if you listen to their words.
Oh, Matthew, thank you so much. Just love it, love it, love it. Yes, I know. What do you think, John? I think any one of these could be a theme song for your workshops, huh? You guys are going to have to go on the road together. Yeah, pretty cool. We'll talk about that later, but awesome. Yeah, oh my goodness. One creative energy. One creative energy, one creative process. A process upon spirit itself, spirit's process upon itself. One, creative intelligence, a process upon itself, and then, whoop, here you are. Look at that. Here you are. Isn't that? And there it is. Look at that. This is really something else, isn't it? And so the thing that we want to constantly remind ourselves is that sounds like it's a transcendent act, and yeah, part of it is. But yet it didn't create life and hit the road. You know, it didn't create life and leave. It's here now still. And I see it in your eyes. It's right here, Brenda. It's right here, Jackie, Emil, Jennifer. It's here, right? And so that's what we're constantly trying to remember and feel and vibe into and vibe out, right? Is that awareness, We are indeed the manifestation of the one. Camille, that reading was brilliant. I loved it. It is so spot on. Today we're talking about our relationship with the cosmos. And my first quote is Carl Sagan. And, you know, there's really not a conversation anymore, much, anyway, that there's one thing, that life is unified, that there's a thread, there's a vibration, it's all energy, we can see commonalities, right? So here's what Carl Sagan is, and everybody knows Carl Sagan, right? We all know who he was. He was really part of the U.S. space program from its inception, you know, an astronomer, a planetary scientist, cosmologist, astrophysicist, astrobiologist, author, and commentator, which is how I saw him mostly as a kid. But here's what he said. The nitrogen in our DNA, the calcium in our teeth, the iron in our blood, the carbon in our apple pies were made in the interiors of collapsing stars. We are made of star stuff. Yeah, how cool is that? How cool is that? I know. Gives us a warm fuzzy, doesn't it, for some reason. I want us to think into those reasons this morning. Like, just why? What does that mean to me? What does that mean to me? What's my relationship understanding all of that? Everything came from somewhere because it wanted to experience something. And because there was nothing else, it made it from itself. That's a pretty wow thing right there, right? So what if it did it for love? I mean, we have to hypothesis about a lot of things, right? Or hypothesize about a lot of things. So why not that? So what if it did it for love? What if it did it for just the joy of experience, of expression, to, you know, play in the physical realm, to live full out, to be vibrant and dynamic and awesome and brilliant? What if? What if? And then I think that something then, that something that created everything, that created me too, must have created me too to be something also. Right? Yeah. Like a pretty wow something, I would think. You know? So, the urges that I have within me then must be just like that divine urge that created everything. Hypothesis. Think about it. And if it is, then I'm participating. I'm part of it. I've said, you know, it's like passing the baton. Okay, I'll do this part over here. I'll expand, I'll express, I'll explore, I'll do my thing. And you know what? I want my thing to always be love. Big love. Big love. Big love. Love all. Love till it hurts. Now listen to this. Mother Theresa gives us this paradox. If you love until it hurts, there can be no more hurt, only love. Only more love. Yeah? It's about growth and evolution then. It's always about more, 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 more love, more expression. Ernest Holmes said it this way: love is the grandest healing and drawing power on earth. It's the very reason for our being. He goes on to say, love is the sole impulse for creation. Love is the sole impulse for creation. And then he goes on, so it should be our greatest incentive, right? He goes on to say, no one can swing out into the universal without love, for the universe is based upon it. Now, we could and maybe not be successful, or at least be fulfilling that living spirit within us. So we want to be in right relationship with it. So we already know we're in relationship with it. We want to be in right relationship with it. What does that mean? Wow, that's what I want to explore. We know that there's an interconnectedness of all life, but if we come to that realization with a recognition that there is an inability for us to compartmentalize, what happens then? What if we don't compartmentalize? Well, those are the people I work with. These are the people I see on Sunday morning. These are my family. You know, what if we didn't compartmentalize, right? Didn't have those divisions. Richard Rohr, who I just absolutely love, he turned me on to something really cool that I'm using here this morning. But one of the things he said was, all disciplines, the arts and the sciences, are all approaching truth. They're all looking for truth. The children are looking for truth. The children know the truth. We need to listen to the children, right, Matthew? But he says we're all approaching the truth, but from different perspectives. And what a brilliant thing for us to try to remember instead of compartmentalizing. So I invite that kind of open-mindedness this morning and all the time. You know, let's get past our preconceived ideas and step into that place of wonder and awe. And in wonder and awe, there's not division. There's just wonder and awe, right? Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's said that St. Francis of Assisi spent a lot of time in that wonder and awe. He spent a lot of time looking starward, gazing up at the sky, appearing to be just in amazement. And that people would often see him like that. I know Elaine goes and watches the sunrise in the mornings, right? Yeah, that's not my thing. I'm more like a sunset. We missed it last night in search of the sunset, and dinner was too much fun. But when we see the sunrise, if that's your thing, or the sunset, you know, it puts us in a mood. It does something to us, doesn't it? There's something so dynamic, so special, so charged about that. So on the beach at sunset, I got my first kiss from Bobby. On the beach at sunset, he proposed marriage to me. You know, like on the beach at sunset, cool things happen. Yeah. And a lot of other mystics, Saint Francis and others, know that gazing, feeling, and the magnitude that can come from it. St. Thomas Aquinas said, any mistake we make about creation, we will also make about God. The inner and the outer realities simply mirror itself, you know, mirror each other. So I found this research for today's message really, really engaging, and I researched way too long. I'm not using a fraction of what I researched. I spent way too much time doing it, but I was into it, and I'm going to pick it back up. I'm going to keep reading my books and keep watching the documentaries because I've found it really great. But one of the things that Richard Rohr tuned me into was this man named Andre Auger, and he has a website, and I found this information there, and I'm using quite a bit of it. It's just brilliant. He's inviting us to look at the cosmos, to find the divine with a sense of wonder and awe. Exactly what, you know, I set out to talk about. And I think when we do that, we find personal insights for ourselves. So Andre Auger says he's really inviting us into a meditation on the presence and how it's at work. And he says it's at work in the accelerating expansion of the universe, in the spiraling of galaxies, in the explosion of supernovas, in the singularity of black holes, in the regularity of the solar system, in the equilibrium of the Earth's ecology. It's working in these places, right? In the evolving of society, in the functioning of our organs, in the chemical processes in our bodies, in the forces within the atom, in the weird behavior of quantum particles. In all of that and more, right? The manifest universe is really the first form of first cause that we know of. The manifest universe, the cosmos, the Big Bang. Look, they say that the universe is at least 13.7 billion years old and 75 billion light years across. I can't really wrap my head around what that means, but it's big, right? It's pretty big. I got that. You know, because if we remember, like, light travels at 186,411 miles per second, and it's 75 billion light years across. No, it's big, it's big. So it contains 100 billion galaxies, and with each galaxy has about 100 billion stars, give or take a few, right? So the age, the size, and the uniqueness and the evolution of the universe is simply mind-boggling. It's awe-inspiring. We got stars and galaxies and black holes and comets and planets and asteroids, and those things make up about 4% of the stuff of the universe. Huh, yeah, like 96% of it is what? Space, black. What do they call it? Black matter, black energy. But it's not really a void. Or is it a void? What does that mean? This is when somebody goes, doo-doo-doo. So there's different opinions about all of this too, you know? But one thing that they are agreeing on is that the universe is accelerating at an increasing rate. How does that make you feel? And why or how would it be doing that, you know? What's it evolving towards? Expanding at this accelerating rate. Why? Where's it going? What's it doing? And what's interesting to me, too, is how thought has progressed our understanding of all this. You know, it seems like as people get interested, you know, then tools are developed, and then we know more, and then we get interested, and then tools are developed. I mean, like you talked about, you know, we had the Hubble, and now we've got the web, and amazing pictures. I did put those in my Thursday, a couple of them in Thursday email if you want to look, but you can go online and look up NASA. You know what, really on a quick side note too, that is a partnership, the Webb telescope is a partnership with Canada and European countries and NASA, which, I don't know, does that feel good? What does that feel like? It's like, a lot of things to think about, right? Because we are society, and look at that global society that's bringing us these gorgeous pictures that we can gaze upon. That's a feel-good thing to me, you know? So it's evolving, this whole, what we're learning. You know, people used to think the sky was a dome, right? You know that, right? Like maybe there were little holes and light was poking through, or it was painted on the ceiling, like the Sistine Chapel eventually was. I don't know. They thought it was a dome. And then they thought the Earth was the center of everything. They wondered why it was dark at night. That prompted more, that actually prompted a telescope. Then they found stars beyond the Milky Way, thanks to Hubble. And now they're looking for universes upon universes. It's crazy stuff. And each is with a quantum leap in thought, which requires radical thinking. And that's what I suggest, Matthew, happened when you were downloading all this. You had a quantum leap. It's not just at NASA. We all have quantum leaps, We could have a quantum leap right here this morning. You could have a quantum leap, Yeah. So, where does the concept of God, whatever you want to call it, fit into all that? So the Big Bang, was it unique? Was it a one-time deal? Was it spontaneous? Was there something before it? Quantum leap, it was certainly a quantum leap, right? Huh. So, how does your image of God fit the bigness of the cosmos? Does it fit? Can you stretch it to fit? If you stretch it to fit, what do you have to let go of? What old ideas make it small, make it too concise, too tight? How can you expand it to fit that expansive universe? And, like Camille read, can this bigness also give you a closeness? Can you have a personal relationship with the divine? If it's all that, can it be here? Can it pay attention to me? Does it care? Interesting question. So, Hildegard of Bingen said that we're all made of God. The stars. She was a ways away. She was 100 years at least, right? Yeah. We're all made of God. Everything is made of God. We didn't need the big telescopes to tell us that. She came to it from a mystic place. That's interesting too. That we got the science and the technology and the instruments, and yet Hildegard knew it. Yeah. Cosmologists and me now, cosmologists and me, marvel at how the universe then was capable of self-conscious life. How'd that happen? And how come, like Camille read, it's only here that we know of? How come? Huh. Wow, it's crazy. And so apparently, because there's so many variables to that, if any one thing was out of sync, the slightest bit askew, we wouldn't be here. So is it an accident? Is it random? Is it just like this random accident? And look, there's Patty. Is that random? I don't think so. There's nothing in me that believes that. Why? Andre Auger says, a small change in several of the over 25 fundamental physical constraints, like the strength of the forces that hold an atom together, the strength of gravity, the rate of expansion of the universe, if any one of those things was out of whack, I wouldn't be here talking to you. And you wouldn't be sitting here in the chairs. None of this would be going on if one little thing was awry. So I think there's an intelligent creator. Look at that, I put intelligence and creator. I think we do need new language in this, so maybe it's inteller. Creative, intelligent. I do believe that there's an intelligence beyond and within, as I said in my opening. Immanent, here, now, present. I can use it, and it's moving in, as, and through me. It's using me, and it's beyond. It's beyond. Because I can't answer all those questions. But there's some things that I do know that I know that I know that I know. Yeah. Amen to that, right? So, I just want you to think about how your thoughts cause you to relate to the world around you, the bigness, the smallness, the magnitude of it all. And then what about the complexity and the fragility in our planet Earth? That's part of the cosmos, the ground upon which we stand. Do you worry about the variables there? That one little thing could be out of sync and we could lose it? You have environmental cycles, weather patterns, extinction of species. I don't know. But intuitively, I feel like I want to care for what's here because it's part of me. I'm part of it. Our whole next month is going to be on nature. So, is there a creating mind, a creative mind? And do we have a relationship with it as self-conscious beings? So now we're like deeply involved in the game because we're self-conscious. And we're the only things that are, as far as we know. Well, I shouldn't say that. I mean, they're sentient beings, but you know what I mean. Like we're able to choose and make change. And so do we have a responsibility in that? Or is the universe just spinning randomly, uncontrollably, willy-nilly, and just anything could happen? What do you think? You don't buy it. You don't buy it. So let's return to that notion that I began with, that Ernest Holmes said, love is the sole impulse for creation. I think that's it. I think that's it. And so me and Ernest and a lot of mystics and even some scientists, Amit Goswami, who was one of my professors in my master's program, these are both his books, and Andre Auger, he says, perhaps it is not too presumptuous to propose that the fundamental drive of the universe is some form of love. So, I think I'm in agreement with that, and I'm going to leave you with a quote of Ernest Holmes that also says we're in agreement. Just how it creates, we cannot know, and need not really attempt to understand all of it, for whatever the process of creation is, we find it is always an inner thought process. We should keep this in mind. The Spirit makes all things out of itself. Everything comes into being without effort. Everything comes into being without effort. Who else needs to hear it? Everything comes into being without effort. Everything comes into being without effort. And when we exert ourselves, we are not in accord with the creative spirit in the way in which it works. The impulse of the Spirit to move must be caused by a desire to express what it feels itself to be. And then he tells us its beauty, its form, its color, life, love, and power, all things else that we find in this manifest universe are attributes of the Spirit and are caused to spring into being through the Word because the Spirit wants to enjoy itself. And so it is. That's from Creative Mind, Ernest Holmes. Thank you guys for being here. Matthew, what do you got for us? Lots to think about.
matter who you are, shining bright to see. So come truly be your most shining star. No matter who you are, shining bright to see. You can truly be. Everyone sing with me. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be. Shining star for you to see what your life can truly be.
This church, got good singers here. I love that. Thank you guys for always being able to collab with me when I'm here, and I always try to leave a part for you, and you never let me down. Even on the Ancient Aquarius, you never let me down. Thank you so much. I love Earth, Wind, and Fire, one of my favorite bands from just as a really young kid, and if they're not aliens, and they're not from the stars, if you've never seen them play or their music, it's all just high positivity and just very space. Very like, and you go, they must, are they from here? It's like Stevie Wonder. I'm like, he's not from here. But thank you so much for listening to that. I want to do that for. I just wrote that the other day, that arrangement of some old school Earth, Wind, and Fire.
One of the versions of Earth, Wind, and Fire that was touring, at least that I knew, in the early 2000s, the keyboard player was a practitioner for Agape International.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's just, you just hear it.
Yeah,
It's really,
yeah. So, as well as they were, other members were part of the house band there.
Oh, wow.
So,
Yeah, there's something else.
Yeah.
Take it to the next level.
whew. Yes. I was having a thought. So we're a speck. The Earth is a speck. We're huge. We're, each one of us thinks we're a universe in and of itself. We have, 70 trillion cells, whatever. And it made me think about that, in the Christian theology, Judeo-Christian, whatever, Adam and Eve get kicked out of the garden. And I think that was only to explain why we have a certain amount of hardship in our lives. And I've always said, when people say, why do we have hardship? And I say, because we're not making good decisions and we're not tuned into the center. So I'm going to leave you with, what if we never did get kicked out of the garden? Because just in this little microcosm of garden, there's infinite abundance. And as Theresa said, God didn't create us and then leave. If there's a creator, the universe is still moving. Some people think it's going to move out to some point and then go back to some little dot again and it re-explode. So, there's infinite abundance. You are a source and a channel for that infinite abundance. So, I'm just going to say, let's let that infinite abundance flow in the form of the energy that you have in your pockets, your pocketbooks, your wallets, your checking accounts, whatever it is, and let some of that flow this direction into the Center for Spiritual Living and allow this powerful ministry to grow and grow and grow. So in just taking a moment of acknowledging the infinite source of all things, the infinite source that flows in through, and as each one of us right here and right now, I know that the giver is blessed and the gift is blessed and it's all good and it's all God. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend G. And let's sing together. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on. I receive the gift of life and pass it on. I receive the gift of love and pass it on. I receive the gift of joy and pass it on. I receive all good and pass it on.
I feel so good. I feel good. I feel good. I feel really good. Thank you guys for being here this morning. We have a treat this afternoon. John, do you want to come up and just say a word in case somebody in the room doesn't know what we're doing this afternoon? And while you're walking up here, I want to just introduce, I know you've met her before, but this is my girlfriend, Reverend Cindy Grimes, sitting right behind my girlfriend from high school. I have to repeat that every once in a while, too, and her husband, Grady. And Cindy's from Ocala, from the CSL in Ocala. And the reason why I pointed out now is because last week I said Cindy's community is getting ready to have John there to do his thing, his workshop again. And how many times have you had them?
Why don't you come up? I feel like this is an Oprah moment because we haven't seen each other yet. It's like, oh,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yay! They're reunited!
So fun. We had to go to the Big Sky retreat to meet, and he was living in Florida. So my husband went to the workshop first, and he said, I don't know what just happened, but you have to experience this. So then I did the breakout session, and it was amazing. You know, Theresa's talking about that ascension, you know, that if you stay for this workshop, you will experience that.
Quantum leap.
Quantum leap for sure. He is an incredible facilitator. This man creates just this beautiful, the loving space, right? The knowing field,
Yeah.
where truths can come out that you may not have, we're like Shrek, right? You don't know what's under there till the layers start coming off. So these layers will come off and you will see some things about yourself, and I promise you will, from wherever you are today, there will be an ascendant moment for you in this workshop if you stay. He's amazing. Thank you for having us.
Yay!
I don't think I need to say anything else. Everything that was talked about, that Matthew sang about, family constellations will, looking through the different lens, we're going to see that love is the only creative impulse, and miracles happen every time. And I hope all of you can stay because it is a one-of-a-kind experience. So thank you for inviting me, and thank you, Cindy and Grady, for being here. It's going to be so much fun to play with you guys here today too. So thank you, Theresa.
So we're starting at 1:30, right?
Yes.
So you have an hour and a half if you want to go get lunch and come back, or we're going to have potluck here. So if you brought something, we're going to, move the chairs and tables around. So either way, it starts at 1:30, and it's $40. And if that's a stretch for you, come talk to me, because we want people to experience this.
Yes.
So yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, so there you go. So people don't really know how we're going to, I don't know. What do you don't tell people in advance.
What do you mean?
Well,
yeah,
there's secrets.
We can tell. Yeah, we
Oh.
can. What? What do you want? There's no secrets.
Is it a
There's no
secret?
secrets.
So depending on how many people are in the room, everybody's not going to do their own family constellation. You're going to participate in somebody else's.
Yeah, so what I do is I have anyone who wants to take a look at their family and what might be going on and what patterns are repeating or why is that thing still happening. I have everyone write their name on a little piece of paper. I put it in a basket, which I brought, and we're going to pick a name and we're going to let Spirit decide whose constellation will be of the most value to everyone. We'll probably have time to do 2, maybe 3, but I'm also going to do a few exercises so everyone gets a direct experience of it. But you will find out how we are all connected, like star stuff.
And we participate in each
Yes,
other's. That's
yes.
the cool thing. That's why Grady said, whether your name is called or not, you're, out of the hat. Bobby and I have done it, but we didn't do our own, but we both really got something out of it. It was amazing because everybody's participating in everybody else's story. And it's not like you get a script. It's a download.
Yeah, and there's no accidents. Who
upload.
gets picked, or who's representing, or who stays, and Spirit orchestrates everyone. So if you're feeling a little tap on the shoulder, like, oh, I think I should be there, I hope you stay.
Yeah, then do it. You can get somewhere and eat and come back here in an hour and a half. And otherwise, we're just going to sit and talk and eat. All right. So
Thank you,
thank you, John. And so let's see. Make sure that you're opening the newsletter. If you get it, if you don't get it, go to Facebook or CSLCulturalCoast.org. Sign up for the Facebook. There you will get links and information to like Rev G's book club. They're just starting 40-day mind fast soul feast. Michael Beckwith's book, who Emil is a personal friend of, so that could be fun to be in that. That's Thursday mornings. Monday evenings, Julie and Effie do the meditation. Just started that up. You'll get all that information. You'll get a link and phone numbers to the practitioners if you want prayer support. You can find that on the emails, or you can go to prayer@cslculturalcoast.org, or you can pick up a prayer sheet over there and fill it out, and we'll pray with you. Or you can ask Emil or myself or Bobby or Tom. I think that's the practitioners in the room today. Anyway, we love you, and glad you guys were here in the room, and those of you at home. And Matthew, you got one to close us out?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, all right. Let's have some more fun with Matthew.
I'm going to do another star song of mine, another original. And this one's just called You're a Star, dedicated to all you people out in the audience today. Thank you for coming, supporting this beautiful center, and just keep spreading the word. It's an amazing place. I tell people all the time at my shows, and I'm trying to get the right people that would really, really get a lot from this. And there's so many out there. They just, what did the lady say the other day at the one gig? I said, yeah, well, I'm going to do my originals, and I'm going to play Earth and Fire. She goes, oh, I don't want to hear that at church. I don't want to hear that. And I go, well, that's exactly what Theresa was just talking about, that sort of separate thinking. And I just corrected her really quick, and I said, have you listened to the lyrics of that ever? It's like, it's a gospel song. It's a beautiful, spiritual song, and so many songs that became radio songs and that, where you're just dancing, feel good. Listen to the lyrics one time and you see where they're coming from, and then Rev G just said it, like these guys are in the center, they're in part of that stuff. So they're very conscious, and that's why they're doing so many good things, and they're not, you don't hear the bad stuff about them and stuff like that, and so that's really good. But I always try to now correct that more than ever, where I'm not going to be argumentative person, but I will have to correct that a little bit, No, it's okay, trust me. And I know what she's saying. She likes the old hymns. I do too, I told her. I really like those. But I said, but check this out, and they would have loved it. But it was just like, oh, I don't know. So we just got to get rid of that separation always. That's what keeps people from, I think, coming out these days. People ask me that all the time. You're younger, and I'm not really anymore, but it's like there's the Gen Z now. I'm going, oh my gosh. And they are telling, they are different. They're gonna hold you guys accountable and everything. And the millennials were easy on everyone, but the Gen Zers, oh no. And that's really good. Those are the children. Those are the ones I'm singing about, really. And I really pray that we can come to some solutions here. So this one's for you all, and it's with the end of that trail of Starseed songs that I kind of downloaded. I felt like this one especially just came very simply, and I played it for all kinds of audiences now, touring, all kinds of places, and it always gets received in the right way, I feel like. So that's kind of what I'm saying is, no matter where, just put your spirit out there. Don't be, if you're afraid, just try it. And then sometimes if you're really feeling it, everyone else will too. So this is Your Star for all you beautiful people. Thank you.
are you? Love is all we need right now. Love is all you are. Give up your love, your star. Your is all we need right now. Love is all you are. Give up your love, your star. Your
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. With the three of those originals, well, actually two of them are on there. One of them's going to be recorded. And they're called The Bird Tribe. That was the band of these originals, and I wrote all those the songs. And it's me singing and playing the keyboards and all that. And I wanted to let you guys know too, if you're not doing anything this Friday, there's a really cool place just a couple blocks that way. And it's called Vino Bistro, and it's got a really nice menu, and it's just like a wine place, no rough stuff, just really good, nice people. Everyone comes to listen, and I just played there the first time last month, and I was telling Theresa about it, and she was saying sometimes groups of you get together and like to go places and like talk and just have a really nice experience. Well, I'll be playing there this Friday, 6 to 10, around that time, like a 4-hour thing. I have a keyboard and all that stuff, some guitar, doing a lot of these songs and a lot of my other stuff too. So please come to Vino Bistro. I need some more heads in there this time. It was like a little dead because it's the summer, but it's actually an old 1900s theater, renovated, and it's just gorgeous place, and the owners are really beautiful people, and it sounds so good in there, like a theater should. And so you gotta check it out. I'd love to see some of you guys, and no pressure. And every Thursday night at the Art Ovation Hotel, which is just in that direction, just a couple blocks, really nice hotel. I play in the lobby at the grand piano, 6 to 10 on those Thursday nights, every Thursday. And I love that. It's a beautiful Steinway, and I'm singing and playing, and it beats the heck out of this piece of plastic. It's so beautiful. So check it out. And if you want some CDs, let me know. My Instagram's Matthew Frost Music, and my girlfriend Emily helps me with that. She posts like shows that I do and stuff on there. So thank you, Emily. Matthew Frost Music. Thank you so much for having me, you all. I really appreciate it. And Theresa was saying, I'm trying to actually start something new in my life where I'm going more towards the spiritual centers, and I do a lot of listening room stuff, and like this place, Bistro is like a listening room where people just come to listen. It's not a bar, and I played so many gigs, so many places and all that. But I'm really trying to put that out into the universe that I want to do this for a living. I want to play at centers. Call your friends. Tell them, Matt Frost, like if I do something different, it's definitely not something I've seen other people do at the center, so it's made me very timid for a long time. But meeting people like Theresa has been like, she's like, don't like put your fire down, like let it just go, like be yourself completely. And she does that for a lot of you too. So that's been really good for me. And I'm after the COVID thing, I think we all, and still are going, what is really important in life? Time just flies by. Well, I'm putting that out there. I want to do this more often. So please, say a prayer for me. It's starting to happen.